Welcome back to the Angry Man Podcast with Jason and Greg. So, Jay, we had the opportunity today to watch the Conor Benn versus Peter Dobson fight. We shared our thoughts on the fight live in our Discord. If you guys are interested, hit us up in the comment section to find out what is the AM Sports Media Discord. We're always talking boxing in there. And it was a fight, Jay, that I can say it was an interesting fight. I mean, it was a scrappy fight. When you look at Conor Benn, clearly he was the more athletic fighter. Peter Dobson didn't have the requisite athleticism, punching power to really give Conor Benn any kind of real problem. I mean, Conor Benn clearly didn't have the endurance really, and that's what Dobson was really hoping for. Right, he stood right in front of Benn and basically just let Ben tee off on him, and Ben did get tired, but ultimately Ben did have enough left in the tank in order to get through the fight. And this brings us to a very, very interesting fight. Now, we know that Ben had wanted the opportunity to fight Chris Eubank. That's not going to happen is from what I can see. I don't even think Eubank can get down and wait to fight Conor Benn unless Ben is planning to move up. And Ben called him a kitten name, a slur, a vulgar name for a kitten. So anyway, interestingly enough, and I thought about this, Jay, soon as the fight ended, I was like, man, you know what? This guy might be an interesting opponent for, you guessed it, Devin Haney, because we know that Devin Haney has talked about the potential to move up to 147 pounds. They talked about Keith Thurman. They talked about Boots Ennis. They're definitely not going to get into the ring with Boots Ennis next. There's no way in hell that's going to happen. But yes, Conor Benn instantly entered my mind as that fight ended. I said, man, this is a fight that they can make. And there's a number of reasons why I thought they could make that fight. Number one is because he's with Eddie Hearn. And we know that Bill and Devin Haney are doing business with Eddie Hearn and Matchroom Boxing. So I thought that would be an easy fight to make. But I was like, Devin's probably not going to be really interested in making that fight. And then lo and behold, we saw Bill Haney arrive on the scene during the post-fight presser. And he went up, he congratulated Conor Benn. They exchanged some words there, Jay. But what was interesting was the interview that he had. I think it might have been with Fight Hub after, where he talked about, I really don't want to judge him on this performance. And, he talked to him specifically about, maybe doing the fight in the future. And I'm like, man, this is more of a fight that could possibly happen than I initially even thought of. And it's clear that Bill Haney had been thinking about this as well. Now, Jay, I have given Bill Haney a massive amount of credit for the way that he has been promoting his son, the way that he's been moving his son. I think it has been brilliant and strategic. I don't have any problem with being brilliant and strategic in terms of how you're matchmaking your son, because that's what it is. It's matchmaking, and all fighters participate in matchmaking. But for some reason, people get upset when we say that. I mean, I don't have a problem with what Devin and Bill Haney are doing. They're putting them in some I would call intriguing fights, but they're putting them in fights that he's going to win and that they're favorable matchups for him, and that's smart. And I think that this is a possibility. Now, we heard that Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney, the negotiations there are not going well, according to Devin Haney, and that he's not satisfied with the split in the offer. Now, I saw somewhere online, and I don't know if this is true, I haven't validated this or not, but somewhere I saw that Devin Haney had already confirmed that Oscar De La Hoya offered him 40% and that he's worth much more than 40% of the fight. He's the champ. So I don't know if that's true or not, but negotiations there clearly are not going well right out of the mouth of Devin Haney. So, Jay, what are your thoughts on this? The possibility of Conor Benn, could this be a backup plan for Bill Haney and Devin Haney in the event they cannot get the Ryan Garcia fight?
I mean, it's impossible. It'd be an easy move up to 147. It'd be perfect. I mean, hell, Ben rehydrated 170, 170.8. Devin rehydrated what, 164, 165 when he was fighting at 140. So I mean, they're rehydrated to about the same. It'd be equally. Although Connor's he's very kind of like the T-Rex arms. Kind of, he fights real small too and wild. So I mean, it'll be a good little test for Devin. He's fighting someone that has some power or used to have power. I don't know if he still has it anymore.
But Conor didn't look like he had no power.
What's up?
He didn't look like he had no power in that fight.
Nah. That's why I said used to. But I
Yeah,
mean, this would be a good introduction for Devin at 147. I wouldn't
agreed.
be mad at him. But to me, it's all about who's deserving of a good fight. Good thing about it, neither one has a belt at 147, so it could be a matchup at 147 to happen if this 140 fight between Devin and Ryan doesn't happen. I could see it still happening. I think Devin's just being tough to negotiate with because he feels like he's worth more. Since he's won the belts. Ryan's never had a belt at any level. Boxing right now, so he feels like he deserves more of a lion's share of the haul. He's not an A side. Regardless of what his accomplishments are, he's not an A side with Ryan. But him and Ben, it'll be interesting. I think he'll tire Ben out because Ben shoots his load. He's winding up and just throwing wild punches, and every punch he throws is a hard punch. I mean, although Dobson was just eating it for the most part. I mean, he literally sat there for like the first 3 rounds, just like a punching bag, just eating it. Then he started giving it back to him. So I think Devin can handle Ben in this one here. It'll just be interesting because between Dev and Ben, they go back and forth. Bill was very respectful at the end of the because Bill was actually invited to the fight. From what he said, they were invited to the fight by Conor Benn or Eddie, whoever it was. So I mean, they have respect. And even Conor said he has respect for Bill, not Dev, and that's perfect. He's not. You don't have to respect Dev because they're the ones that we fight each other. So have respect for the person that's going to be negotiating the deal. Although Bill did say Devin is his own boss, he calls the shots and stuff because he wasn't privy to Devin's little tweet to Conor after the fight, talking about someone said, "What happened to his power?" He left that ish in the needle, alluding to the whole drug stuff. But it'll be a decent enough fight. I mean, especially there's no one else around. Doesn't seem like he's going to fight Tank, so he may as well, if he's going to go up to 147 and not go down to 135 or catch weight, may as well go fight Ben.
Yeah, no, I don't disagree with that. I think that's a good introductory fight for Devin Haney for 147 pounds. It would make perfect sense if he is truly interested in moving to 147. Personally, I don't think Sandor Martin really is a fight that Devin Haney would be interested in. There are a number of big fights at 140 pounds for Devin Haney to make, but clearly there's a reason why he's speaking to the possibility of moving up to 147. So we'll see what ends up happening. Personally, I would like to see him in the ring with Ryan Garcia and or Subriel Matias, Teofimo Lopez. Any of those fights would be very interesting for me. Gervonta Davis would be actually top of the list for me for the opportunity because I would like to see those two individuals get it on sooner rather than later because I think the time is ticking away in regards to the possibility of that fight happening. But we'll see what ends up happening ultimately between these two individuals as well as the rest of the fighters at 140 pounds. You guys tell us what you think in the comment section in regards to the possibility of Conor Benn versus Devin Haney. I think there is potential there. We'll see what ends up happening, specifically if the fight ends up falling through because Devin may feel that he can move up to 47 and back down to 140 in the event that a big fight materializes there. Let us know what you think. Don't forget to hate, like, comment, and subscribe. This is the Angry Man Podcast, AM Sports Media, and we are out.